Ciao, Scott.
Ciao bueno.
Welcome to Sicily, the island of Sicily.
Operation Husky.
Operation Husky. July 1943, the Allied invasion of Sicily. This is from the Advancing Fire module, Piazza Ridge. And I took the Americans on this one. I lost the previous scenario that we played, so I took the Americans and you got the Germans.
Yes.
And this scenario actually takes place the day after the Americans captured these hillsides. So as the Americans, my advantages are the pillbox that I captured from the previous night before, which is actually a night scenario in this module. I'm the defender and you're coming on board, so that gives me the option, not the option, but the ability to do bore sighting, and you can see some of my bore sighted counters there. Some you didn't see in the game because I never revealed them. And I had the high ground, right? Having the high ground gives me a lot of line of sight advantages. Disadvantages, I didn't have a whole lot of units, and I was using some captured Italian equipment. And as far as balance goes, there really was none for this scenario.
Not enough playings,
No,
I don't think.
nope.
Yeah, my advantages, I have start with 5 tigers, but as we'll soon see, I didn't really do much with them. But disadvantages, I just got a lot of open ground to cover. I think I could have used a few more units, but we'll see.
Yeah. So my general defense was, because I didn't have a lot of units, obviously, I did have some concealment. I set up, some of my units had to set up in certain areas, like the infantry gun had to set up in a certain hex. I had to put trenches in certain hexes, that kind of thing. But I generally set up my squads, my 9-1 leader, medium machine gun in the bunkers. And these bunkers had different covered arcs than the actual counter that's showing there. But those 4 bunkers essentially, or pillboxes, essentially cover that whole valley down there. And then you can see in the back here I have a hidden anti-tank gun in hex G7, a 37 millimeter. Then I have a half squad in a trench in the trench in the brush in C6, and he also has a bazooka. My main goal wasn't necessarily to inflict as many casualties as possible, but to delay your units as much as possible, either by breaking them, by getting you to fire at me, something enough to delay them so you couldn't get the required 42 victory points off of the northwest corner up there.
Yeah, 45.
45,
Points,
yeah. And
but
you start with 72, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of units, but you had like 3 mediums, 260 mortars, the
Yeah,
anti-tank gun,
forgot. Yeah,
the
mortars too.
captured arty gun. So yeah, it was plus the 5 Shermans and the half track.
Oh yeah, I've Sherman reinforcements that come on the left on turn 1. Yep.
Yeah.
And you can see here. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say my attack plan was I didn't want to really try a frontal assault on the pillboxes.
No.
I didn't think that would work. So I wasn't too sure about how with the hills trying to go up around how long that would, if it might take too long, but I ended up doing that. Well, I kind of ended up splitting my force, I thought, which was a mistake, but yeah, I thought I would run some down in front, some up, go up around, see which worked. Most of my preparation time for this scenario, I think, was ate up with the hillock rules.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to go too much into that. Let's just say that they were very confusing, and we abandoned them, which was an option. And if you read the Piazza Ridge rules, they say you can abandon them without much loss in realism, which is what we did at the end. We just played traditional hill rules.
Yeah, I think it worked out fine.
Yeah.
But I spent most of my time I was so busy with work and everything. I spent most of my time trying to figure them out. I didn't put a lot of thought into the actual my actual strategy. So I think that kind of shows.
Here we're starting out. I think your first move was you brought an armored car on and you drove right into one of my bore-sighted hex for my Italian gun, and
Yeah.
I smoked him first thing.
Yeah. With your captured
Yeah,
World War One
yeah.
or two. Yeah.
I think I got raid on it too.
Yeah, your dice were pretty hot when you're firing that thing.
Yeah, I got raid and took a shot at that tiger over on the left as well.
Yeah, and I think you end up going for deliberate immobilization, which you get.
Yeah, I think
Forced me to abandon it.
next turn I think I. Yeah, so your tigers, I mean they have decent armor, but for me to get a kill on them, especially with that artillery gun, I'm not even sure it
Oh,
was possible. I just
yeah.
immobilized it. Um,
Yeah, forget about it.
yeah, I have to get a rear shot to have any decent hope of a kill. So I took a lot of DI immobilization shots in this scenario.
Yeah, I was pretty cautious, I think, in the beginning. I think in hindsight, I should have been a little more aggressive with the Tigers, probably.
Did you ever think
I
about
just
bringing them? Because you could have, part of the map is clipped off here where that stream is running through those reed beds. Did you ever think about
hmm
bringing them in south of the stream and coming up the road across the bridge, which I had bore sighted? You can see the bridge. It's under those bore sighted counters in N16.
No, I just the whole frontal thing. I think in hindsight, though, I mean, I think if I was played again as the Germans, I think I would. I think I might just run all the Tigers right up that road
Yeah.
and just as fast as I could, maybe spraying smoke and stuff. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was really worried that you were going to bring all of your infantry on as riders, right? And just get as close in as you could the first turn. But you brought them all on foot, as far as I know. I don't think you had any riders.
No, I think I did a little armored assault on the first
Yeah,
turn,
yeah,
but yeah, that was it. So it was just a lot of poor play on my part, but I should have brought all the infantry up around on the hill to try and get by you. But
yeah.
because the few that I brought down inside your covered arcs of those pillboxes, they all got broke, and
Hmm.
then they had no place to route to, no place to rally. Yeah.
Yeah, because once you get, if you could have brought more units, because you split up, you brought like half of them, as you see here, kind of around up the base of the hill, and you're bringing some others
hmm
up the hill further. Um, if you could have gotten everything out of the covered arc of my pillboxes and
Yeah.
or line of sight of artillery gun, um, it would have forced me to abandon the pillboxes early and try to set up a defense somewhere else because I couldn't
Yeah.
shoot at anything then.
Yeah, that would be the better play. I mean, it's a little slower going that way,
Hmm.
but I mean, I never really got far enough to find out if I could actually get across all the way to the exit hexes. But
No, I mean,
I think you could. If you got to keep moving, though. I mean, you can't really
yeah,
stop. It's a long ways, but
there's no time. You start. I believe you start with 72, if I counted right, victory points, and you have to exit 45 off. So you can only lose, not even lose, just delay enough to keep 27 from getting off the board, which would give the Americans a victory.
yeah, and you're about to get a critical hit on one of my tigers there
Yeah,
on your Sherman.
I had a lot of luck. I usually don't have luck with Shermans against any German heavy tank, Tigers and especially
hmm
Panthers, but I actually did surprisingly well with my Shermans this scenario. Yeah, I
Yeah,
intensive fired as well. I did quite a bit of intensive firing here. I was desperate. I'm like, God, I hate those freaking Tigers. And the thing is those Tigers were worth 7 victory points each. Each one I knocked out was nearly a third of the victory points I needed to, keep you out of winning the game to get your victory points.
yeah, that was I mean, my whole thought process was I need to if I could get all 5 tigers off the board,
Yeah,
I would have a
yeah,
pretty good chance of win.
that's 35 right there. Yeah,
Um,
And you're keeping your infantry guns in tow in reserve, which you could do in this scenario. You were going to probably bring them on later and just haul butt towards the northwest.
Yeah, I was kind of just waiting until like towards the end. I mean, I was gonna figure out how far they could go. I was trying to, they're basically unarmored half tracks, so pulling them. So
Hmm.
yeah, it wasn't gonna do me any good to bring them on, set them up, and fire at your pillboxes or anything. So
No.
uh, just take too much time. So what's the point? I just leave them there until it's till the last moment, and then try and run them off the board.
You're bringing your tigers in close here. I got the critical hit on that one in T11 that's on fire back there. And you're bringing your Shermans in, or your Tigers in close, and mine are kind of hiding behind the hill, most of them. And at this point, I'm not sure. We're on your turn 3. I'm thinking if I could get one more Tiger, it's very
Hmm.
close to me winning at that point already. Um, and I'm debating whether to pull my Shermans back to cover the road coming through that cleft, or if I go for it in a what upcoming turn here. You'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, I had to get moving because we're almost halfway through the game, and I had to get moving. And I kind of made, which I debated about. One, critical mistake that probably cost me the game was that Tiger in L13. I should have held him back about 2 hexes, like N13, where the other Tigers could cover him better. I knew at some point you would try and swarm me with your Shermans.
Hmm.
I
Oh,
just didn't think it was
here
going
they
to
come.
be. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be right now. Because that one in L13 is kind of vulnerable.
Yeah, I figured because this
I,
is the point where I did a little math, and I'm like, if I can get one of these tigers and just delay some of your infantry, that would probably be it. Because I've already knocked out two tigers. I killed a leader with a sniper, and you have a bunch of broken squads all over the board too. So I went for it here.
yeah, and the dice didn't do me any favors. I mean, I fired once and missed, and then I intensive fired and missed,
Dude, you got a
and
dud at one point, didn't you?
yeah, I
Like,
did. Well, that's right. I think I did hit, and then I rolled
yeah,
a box of cards for the 2 kill.
yeah.
There's times where I absolutely love this game, and there's times where I really hate it. This is one of those times.
Yeah, yeah, because if you get a hit, I think if you get a hit on my Sherman, even on the front, I think you need like a 9 for a kill, and you got a dud at one point. You immobilize one.
Yeah, it's my
Oh, you just killed one there too.
turn already. I mean,
You're repositioning
yeah,
here.
but at this point, it's still gonna.
You have a long ways to go still.
Still.
Yeah, and you guys on the hill. You're moving some out of the line of sight of my pillboxes at this point, and I'm trying to cover with my T30 half track back up on the hill further.
Well, and then you killed my best leader with the sniper early on.
Yeah, you,
My
you only had 2 leaders, didn't you?
Oh, I had 3.
Did you
I
have
did
3?
8-1.
Yeah, sniper killed your 8-1. That was game. I killed the tiger or immobilized it in
Bonus
L13. I think we called that after that. We counted and you didn't have enough.
7. Killed my last or the third tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that last one I think he did go for deliberate immobilization when I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, your dice were pretty good on the with your Shermans. It was.
Yeah. I did surprisingly decent with my Shermans. I just thought you'd wipe me out. That's why I was gonna hide and make you come to me, like expose you coming, side and rear shots coming around hills or coming up that center road.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't think my play really did the scenario any justice. But
Well, I think we talked about this before. I think here's the dice stats you can look at whoever's viewing the video. But I think this is a hard task for the Germans to win this scenario, as is getting 45 victory points off in that amount of time when the Americans have pillboxes and medium machine guns and mortars and anti-tank gun and artillery and Shermans. It seems like it would be really, really hard to do.
yeah, I mean, I could see it happening, being possible for the Germans, but you'd have to play really, really well and have some luck on your side, I think.
Yeah. Or a slight rebalancing, maybe reduce the victory points required to exit, or increase the game length slightly, something like that. Because I think it heavily favors the Americans as is.
Yeah, I mean the dice look pretty even, really.
Yeah, it's just when you get the dice, good or bad.
Yeah.
That is it for not Piazza Ridge, for Drillo HG Reconquest. Our next scenario is I have no idea. We haven't decided yet. We're slackers.